It is all about the pipeline and the courtroom when it comes to picking pharmaceutical stocks for 2007. We're going to get some picks and some perspective from Jeffrey Kraws with Crystal Research Associates and Scott Henry with Oppenheimer and Company. Gentlemen, good morning to you both.
Good morning. Good morning.
Scott, let me begin with you. You make the point that valuations in this sector have been in a pretty tight range there, and I guess that makes more sense to play it safe than try to go out on a limb and play some more risky names. Is that about right?
Well, I think it is. I think when you look at the pharma sector over the past 10 years, at this point in time, the valuations are very tightly wound when you look at expectations. So at this point, I would focus on the quality names. And when quality, like beauty, is in the eye of the beholder, to me, the quality can be found in Eli Lilly and Wyeth. I think those are the two large-cap pharma stocks I would focus on.
Yeah, what makes those safe as opposed to some of the other names in the sector, Scott?
Well, the biggest factor is the lack of negatives, the lack of patent expirations. So if you can count on your base business and you can trade or buy the stocks at around 15 times, you have left the window wide open for upside surprises to come in the pipeline.
Jeffrey, walk me through some of the mid-cap names here. I guess names like Endo and Alpharma. How do the dynamics there differ from the large-cap names?
Well, the smaller companies obviously have a lot more exposure should something turn wrong to one of their smaller products. We believe holding a basket of products, a basket of companies, both large cap and mid cap, provides the best opportunity to maximize the returns in your portfolio while reducing the risk. We like Wyeth as well. We like Johnson & Johnson and Novartis on the large side. Lilly, I think, which was down 8% year to date, trailed the American Exchange Stock Index, which was up 6.6%. But I would agree with Scott that I think it's time for a turnaround there. Our top four large names would be Novartis, J&J, Wyeth, and Lilly. But we think you should also take advantage of the huge generic play which is taking place. $23 billion went off patent in 2006. Another $16 billion goes off patent in 2007. And as such, I think you can take advantage of Novartis, which obviously owns Sandoz, the largest generic manufacturer in the world, sells greater than $5 billion in generics, and also Bar Labs, which continues to benefit from the increased utilization of generics to the Medicare drug plan.
All interesting points. Scott, how are you managing risks? You know, we've seen even stories as recent as this morning, a big drug company, in this case over at the NASDAQ, phase 3 trials go wrong, stocks off 75%. Is phase 3 a reliable measure? Is that a home stretch, if you will, anymore?
Well, I think historically the data is very clear. Chasing hype in the pharmaceutical sector can be a dangerous game. So our focus is to find names that we think are appropriately valued, where the news events can be the upside and downside is already in the expectation.
But you would admit that even, it's hard to know when you can call it, so to speak, when a drug is actually headed its way to market, right?
Well, the unknowns are, by definition, unknown. So it is tough to call. And we think, again, if you buy at the right price, the variables work in your favor.
Jeffrey, there's been a lot of talk with the new Democratic Congress that, A, the industry is already overregulated, but B, with the Democrats now in control, if you ask people like Sidney Terrell, R&D is going to dry up in this country. We're going to become a Europe of sorts where even the U.S. doesn't plow the way for new medicines. Do you think that's likely?
Well, I think you have to continue to invest in the right prescription for financial health, which is large caps investing in R&D. I think that with the aging population, they're going to continue to put pressure on government for cheaper medications, making the case for the Bar Labs and the Amerisources, but also the continued innovation of R&D. Pharmaceutical companies are only as good as their next product, and we would like to see the pharmaceutical companies continue to invest in the cures for the future, which represent their revenue stream. I think that you will continue to see pressure on pharmaceuticals, but I believe that the R&D is going to continue to be there. There's going to be incentives in place for them to continue to invest in R&D, and I think the pharmaceutical industry is going to be safe in the long term.
Gentlemen, appreciate your points this morning. Thanks very much, Jeffrey and Scott.